This is the MTPredictor weekly market update for September 28th. Here's the S&P on the daily chart, the futures contract anyway. And remember this, where this red candle is here. I'll pull this over here. This was our last Friday options expiration Friday's candle that we were looking at last week. And if you watched the video from last week, I said if they take out the options expiration Friday low the following week, which you can see they did on Monday, that we should go down and at least get a couple of days of selling down around that 1980 to 1990 level. So day one on Monday took us down around 1986, and day two went through 1980 there. Good directional, even if you're not trading this for your intraday, expecting that we might get selling once they broke options expiration Friday's low there. Now once this happened, we can take our decision point off here, because this would have been a target and next major support level here on the daily chart. So of course it could be a seller on the red seller's candle here on that, with this being your target here for about twice your initial risk to the target, so that'd be fine. Alright, but on Friday, on this past Friday in our trading room, usually Friday after the first hour on Friday or so, hour or two, things really kind of slow down, and sometimes not a lot happens on a Friday. But because you can see on Wednesday we had the big up move, and then Thursday we had this big slam down into the target. So on the Friday I said be very careful. I said we may get nothing, but a couple things that I was looking at. Number one, if they break this level, we've got a long way to move to the downside. So we could potentially get a big drop, a big quick drop, if this level gives way. But if it holds support, I said, then watch for a potential major rally off of this level. And so you can see what happened on Friday is we got a rally now off of that level, a pretty strong rally in the afternoon. So not much was happening in the morning, it was kind of chopping around, but we knew we're in this major support, and if it didn't give way to the downside, then chances are we're going to get a nice rally off of this level that might take somebody surprise on a Friday afternoon especially. So hopefully the folks in our trading room at least were not caught off guard there. They were anticipating a potentially big move one way or the other here. So if they take out Friday's high, now we'll probably get some continuation, maybe retest the 1990 level up here. But if we again sell off and retest this level, there is a danger, like I said, if this level does give way eventually, we got room to move to the downside here. Not a lot of volume took place in here, so that'll be something to watch for this week. If we look at the Dow here, the Dow gave the sell signal here. We can analyze the setup, and you see where the target is for the Dow. So the S&P reached its target, the Dow has not yet. So like I said, if we take out Friday's highs, then we probably resume the late rally on Friday. Things roll over here, the Dow still has room to come down before it hits its target, so that's a possibility there. We'll throw in the Russell here. You can see here's the next support in the Russell around 1092, 1092.70 there. Again, the S&P is the boss, so if the S&P has found support and it's going to rally, it's going to take these markets with it. But there's still this space there where these can roll over and come down and get into their supports, and then see a rally off of those levels. Okay, here's the NQ, and here's its support. So basically some of these markets shy of the support, but the S&P did reach its support, and that's when we get the rally. Everything just kind of followed it. All right, let's take a look at the other big driver of things, and that is going to be the dollar index. Let's take the dollar index. has reached some resistance here. You can see this was our holy grail trade here, the weekly, major weekly support. Now this is the daily chart. This was our weekly support, which made this a significant low and a potential trend changer in terms of direction now being to the upside. So this we looked at as a wave 1, with the TS1 buy signal here. That's an ABC correction in wave 2. And so we're going to play, if we trade this, we're going to play this to the typical wave 3 target, because we're looking at this as a 1 in ABC correction in wave 2. That's where Elliott said best time to be a buyer there is wait for the important low, get the rally off the important low, and then be a buyer on the first ABC correction in the new trend. All right, and this then becomes the wave 3, and you can see the dollar blew through typical wave 3, maximum wave 3, and we're in a decision point off of the daily chart here in some resistance. So we may, get our wave 4 pullback in here. Well, let's just go ahead and project the wave 4. I think we did this last week as well, but let's go down wave 4. Again, using the tools and the software makes it very easy. With a couple clicks, we can project the wave 4. So this is going to be the question here. Do we get, does this decision point here act as resistance? Is the decision going to be to act as resistance and then get some selling in the dollar? Maybe not a pullback all the way into the wave 4 support, but at least some type of pullback that we'd call a wave 4, and then resume the rally up into wave 5. If we get a pullback here, it should take some of the pressure, the downside pressure on the metals and some of the commodities, and we should see some bounces in that. And that's an if the dollar does find resistance here. If the decision is we get a close above this decision point level, and whatever the high is gets taken out, then the decision will be to continue higher to the next level. Let's just look at the monthly chart of the dollar here, and so the monthly chart here, let's just go back. There's that major monthly support here, and you can see actually we can drag this back here, is our major monthly support here. Here's the first ABC correction off of that level where this TS3 is. So we know again that the potential is that this is could potentially unfold as a wave 3. So if we have a 1 here, the ABC correction is a wave 2, looking for the monthly wave 3. Now we're at this level here. This level here is one that for the last couple of years the dollar has not been able to get through. We got to close above that level for the first time in a couple of years. You can see that. So if the high of this gets taken out, chances are we're at least going to test these levels, which this was your as the stock market was crashing in 2008, the dollar rallied, and then as the stock market made its low in March of 2009, the dollar made its high and sold off as the market began to rally. Right, so this is a significant event, especially if we take out this monthly high here, retest these potential levels. All right, if these give way, then maybe we're going to see that wave 3 target. That would be, I think, a big deflationary event. That would put the metals a lot lower than they are now. Do a lot of things. A lot of commodities would be, we're already at 2-year lows in a lot of the commodities. But that would be deflationary. That may, kick the Fed into high gear. A couple of the last 2 hawks on the Fed governors are retired, and so Yellen, who is a QE dove, basically may have free reign there. And if this event happens and we get this deflationary, if there's a dollar strengthens, stuff we buy gets cheaper, or I should put it gets cheaper. It takes less dollars to buy, gas, oil, soybeans, corn, so on, and gold and silver, more than likely. Alright, so, and the Fed does not like deflation. Deflationary depression is what we had there in our history, and it will do everything it can. So they'll probably go into high gear and print, and the rest of the world would probably print money like probably like we've never seen before, and to try to combat that deflation and try to get things to inflate or reinflate. That probably won't work, but at some point consumers will feel good again, and they will start buying, because usually in a deflationary situation, why buy that car today when I know I can buy it tomorrow cheaper at a lower price? If the dollar continues to strengthen, things get cheaper. But at some point people will feel good and they'll step in and start buying. Once that happens, that's that kind of that spark that might ignite inflation, and that's when you'd see probably the metals and these things. So deflation usually doesn't last long, maybe a year, 18 months, something like that, if it happens, and that will be a game changer. Those would be very good times if we do get that situation, to load up on metals and commodities and things like that, in anticipation of an inflationary event. With all that kindling, all that money that's been printed, that's just sitting there, it's not being put to use. There's no velocity of money. But once the velocity of money picks up, that's when we can get into a situation where you can get inflation happening very fast. And we'll keep our eye on capacity utilization is a good heads up, a leading indicator if we're going to get inflation. But anyway, so that's what's shaping up. So it's a real game changer here that's happening. Potential game changer. All right, so let's just take a look at silver. Obviously, we did hit our. Let's go to the weekly chart. We did hit our wave 5 target in silver. Just pull this up here. So again, this was our wave 4 that we were looking at. We came right into wave 4 and we projected our wave 5 down. We've been waiting a good long time to get to that wave 5 target, but we knew it was out there. Let's see if I got these on here right. Okay, so there was our minimum wave 5 target. That's been reached. We can also take a decision point off of the wave 3 low there. That was our 2-year low in silver. Take a decision point. Whoops. Let me drag it over here. Okay, and we just reached the top of that level. So again, this is an area where we would anticipate to get some type of rally. We did close the week up in silver, so it did get a little bounce off the level. We'll see. Again, it'll all depend on the dollars in resistance. Silver's in support. If the dollar resistance holds as resistance, then the silver support should hold as silver support, and we should get a correction in the dollar and a rally in silver. But if the dollar goes through that level, then chances are silver is going to push the bottom of the level. We can get down to $16, and we're still in that, basically in that support level. But below that, we do have room to move to the downside if they do get through this level. So that'll be something to watch for. And this kind of goes with a lot of your other commodities. We're talking about corn and soybeans and wheat and whatever that's been depressed as the dollar is continue to move higher. All right, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up there. I wish you a good trading week. And we'll come back next week and take a look and see how, see what the dollar is doing, see what the other stuff that's dollar related, how that is responding, depending on what the dollar is doing, and do we get that rally in the continuation of that rally that we had or started on Friday in stocks. All right, so we'll see you next week.